Hey, this is Teddy, and you are listening to the Horror Squad podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast, episode number 235. Tonight we're doing Shark Week. We're doing Jaws 2, and Sharks of the Corn, a currently streaming movie. One of your co-hosts, we have Todd, Joe, Steven. Boys, how are you doing?
It's
a good thing we found this power line an hour before the movie ended. That's not going to come back in any way, shape, or form.
Hey, ready to talk about some sharks, some corn, some Kentucky. I know you lived in Kentucky for a while, Todd. So I feel like you should be an expert on Sharks of the Corn.
I am an expert. It's based on a true story, as you alluded to earlier.
Yes.
And it's a serious problem down in Kentucky that no one takes seriously, and frankly, we're fed up.
Good. Yep. You should be.
I'm fired up about it.
That's right. How was everyone's week?
It was painful. Fun enough. So I got injured two days ago in the most old man way possible. I fell out of bed and and tore my my calf muscle.
Ooh.
Like you were sleeping and fell, or you got up and tripped, or
so my cats wanted to eat
cats.
And they were about to damage something very important. So trying to turn around to tell them to stop, I guess I was too close to the edge of the bed and I fell. My bed's pretty high and I just fell awkwardly and I felt it immediately. So I am officially old now where I'm falling out of bed. So good times. Yeah.
That's not good.
Sorry to hear that.
That's not good.
I'm watching a lot of movies, so because I couldn't do anything for Sunday and stuff. So my letterbox is getting a lot of action over the last few days, including quite a few shark movies and my punishment, which it was something.
Wolf.
Yeah, it was something. We'll talk about it in What Watch.
He's a wolf. He weeds. That would have been fun if it was a wolf weed whacking.
Oh yeah, it'd have been better than this, probably.
Yeah, my week was just whatever. Nothing really stands out. What about you?
Yeah, I went to a Beatles cover band and they were actually fantastic. So that was, they're called the Fab Four. They travel around the world. So, but I wasn't expecting them to be that good, but they were really good. So if you're a Beatles fan, I would definitely recommend checking them out if they ever come to your area. But that's very it. Cool. Nothing really horror related. But yeah. But speaking of horror related, how about some horror news?
Do it.
All right. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, horror news for the week. Did you like that segue? I know I did. So first bit of news for tonight is a little bit of update on the Train to Busan remake that is going to be coming. Of course, it is titled The Last Train to New York, originally slated for April 21st, 2023 release. Well, ladies and gentlemen, some sad news here as Warner Brothers has officially undated the movie. They have removed it from the slate. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is to be seen, but it seems like we are going to have to wait just a little bit longer for the Train to Busan remake, whether you want it or not. It is coming. No other news as of now, besides that Gary Dauberman is going to be adapting the screenplay for this movie. But yeah, so stay tuned. We will give you more details as they emerge.
Did you guys ever see part 2?
I haven't.
I really need to check it out. It's on Shudder, so
it's terrible.
Yeah, I keep looking at it and then the runtime, and I'm like, ugh, I don't know, maybe not today. And I keep pushing it off, but I have to watch it eventually, just to know.
Yeah, you said it was bad, so that's why I just kept pushing it off. So
it's basically like Fast and the Furious movie with zombies.
Yeah,
that's not terrible.
Yeah, I was like, that's not the worst description ever.
Yeah, but when you come from that first movie to that, it's like, oof.
I mean, I just sat through 2 hours of Weed Wolf and 2 hours of Sharks of the Corn. I'm sure I could sit through 2 hours of Peninsula.
Yeah, very true. In other news, who is ready for the Salem's Lot remake this year? We know we're excited for it.
Me.
Well, you're going to have to wait a little longer, folks, as another movie has been delayed, as the Salem's Lot remake that was slated to come out September of this year has now been pushed to theaters. It is going to be hitting theaters on April 21st, 2023. Of course, James Wan is going to be producing this along, once again, Gary Dauberman from It and Annabelle Comes Home fame will also be involved with this movie. So it's a whole family affair. The cast will include, of course, Lewis Pullman, Mackenzie Lee, Bill Camp, and a bunch of other names I do not know. But unfortunately, we'll be waiting a little longer for Salem's Lot. But I got to say, it is encouraging because originally it was, from what I had heard rumor-wise, is it was going to be a streaming release. So I guess they are confident enough with the script that we're going to be getting a theater release for that one.
Or they want more money, which is what I think they actually did. Yeah.
Or
I'm bummed about this one, just because I was supposed to go see with you and Sam. So it was like, damn it.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, well, next time. Maybe next. All right. Well, we'll do it in April. We'll figure something out.
Okay, what date did you say?
April 21st.
Man, maybe we could all see it together. It's around
we'll be right around Frightmare. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, depending when it's gonna be. But yeah, we'll keep you guys up to date. Next bit of news here, a little bit of Halloween Ends updating information, as John Carpenter recently in an interview, as well actually as the special makeup effects guy who I listened to an interview with recently, have both said that Halloween Ends is going to be a departure from the previous two movies, with the makeup effects guy quoted as saying it is going to be weird and different. Now, what that exactly means, we shall see. But what do you think? Hearing that it's a departure from the last two movies, does that encourage you or make you feel concerned?
What does he mean? Does it be fucking aliens or something? I don't know. I mean, part 2 was terrible, but at least it was really bloody.
Maybe because they're really leaning into the paranormal stuff, because that's what they alluded to at the end of the last one, whereas the last two were a little bit more grounded. I mean, at the end of the second, they got a little weird, but so maybe that's what they mean. I don't know. I'm curious though.
Stranger Things crossover? If that window's a portal, I swear, dude. I'm done.
Yeah.
We find out Michael was an alien and he just beams up in a spaceship at the end.
Right.
Little Eddie and Big Eddie, or whatever their names were, come back from the dead, and the sequel's just about them. No, Big Ron. No, Big John. What were the names?
Big John, Little John.
Big John, there you go.
Well, we'll find out as it will be releasing October 14th. We will be reviewing it. We're excited to cover it, so stay tuned for that. Speaking of some Stranger Things, though, some big news in the Stranger Things universe. Of course, Stranger Things surpassing over 1 billion hours watched on Netflix earlier this week. Them and the Squid Games, the only two shows to do that on Netflix. No surprise there, I don't think. And obviously, with the success of Stranger Things, the Duffer Brothers, the creators of the show, are launching Upside Down Pictures, which will include a Stranger Things spin-off television series, as well as they announced a Stephen King Talisman TV series. No real information on what we are going to get out of this Stranger Things spin-off series, but what do you guys think? What would be the right way to go take a spin-off of Stranger Things? Do you want a specific character? Do you want a completely different cast of characters?
I just want to follow Alexei for like an entire season before he passed away, where he just learns about American things through his Russian eyes.
Season 3, right?
Yeah. Because the best part of that season was him just like discovering like cartoons and Coca-Cola and carnival games. So he just goes on an American road trip and discovers everything in an alternate universe.
I'm on episode 8 of season 4, so not knowing how it ends yet. I'm gonna go with the Steve and Dustin team up show where they do Scooby-Doo-esque adventures, because I really like, they're the best part of season 4 in my opinion. And then I like Murray a lot. Let's do a Murray X-Files kind of thing where he's just like on message boards in the 90s just talking in chat rooms and stuff. That'd be fun.
I actually read one on Reddit that I totally agree with as well. It's just Steve and Robin with a different job every season. So they have their Scoops Ahoy one year, they have the video store the next year, and then they could do like an arcade or something the year after. And that's all it is. It's like Clerks, but Steven and Robin with different jobs.
Yeah, all stuff that's no longer around anymore, like video stores.
Yeah, exactly. All like the 80s nostalgic stuff.
That'd be dope.
Love it. All right. Next bit of news is Terrifier 2, ladies and gentlemen. 4 years in the making. We finally have some information on the sequel. It is coming, ladies and gentlemen, this fall, finally. And the way to watch it, you don't have to get to go to theaters. All you gotta do is subscribe to Screambox, which is Bloody Disgusting's new streaming platform. We recently announced that they also are getting the It documentary that is coming out very soon. If it hasn't already, I know it was coming out very soon. That's gonna be on there, but this is definitely their biggest release. Terrifier 2, of course, the hotly anticipated movie, I think, on the streets right now. The just love of Art the Clown has just blown up, and it has not faded in the 4 years since that original has come out. And we are going to be seeing this. We reported obviously earlier, this new Art the Clown movie is going to be a robust 2+ hours long. And we will see how that goes. But you will be able to check it out right from the comfort of your own home. It also says it's coming to theaters. I'm assuming it's going to be a very limited theatrical release, though. I can't imagine this getting a wide release. But if you would like to see Art the Clown, I would check your local listings for this fall, and you might be able to catch it on the big screen. I mean, would you guys want to see it on the big screen? Terrifier 2?
I mean, I would if it was a wide release. I wouldn't go out of my way to do it. But I just question the moves here. Like, good for Screambox to get this, but are the producers like, okay, people have been waiting 4 years for this sequel, everyone's excited about it, what is the best way we can get the least amount of people to watch this upon its release? Because I don't know a single person with Screambox, and I'm in a lot of horror communities. Now I'm going to get the free trial and see what it's like at that time, but I don't know, this seems like to be a really niche and small streaming service that maybe in a few years might be bigger, but right now it seems like an odd move to put it on Screambox over like Shudder or Amazon or whatever.
They must have given them the most money, right? That's got to be it.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, wholeheartedly agree. That's a trial. Watch the movie, end the trial. Especially 2.5 hours or whatever it's gonna be. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I'll talk about robust length.
It's no Sharks of the Corn,
later,
okay?
But yeah, I was gonna say too. I mean, even Jaws 2, man, clocking in almost 2 hours. And I'm like, Jesus, what is with these people? Yeah. I don't think any movie should be over 90 minutes, really. Like, I'm just like over like 2+ hour movies. I just can't, especially for horror movies. Like, I'm okay maybe with certain movies, but horror movies, man, 90 minutes. Keep it to that. And if it's a little under, I appreciate you even more. I think it's just that could just be an older age thing, but I don't know. All right. Next bit of news here is production has wrapped on Paramount Pictures' psychological thriller Apartment 7A. Why is this a big deal? You're saying you probably never heard of Apartment 7A.
Why is it a big deal, Joe?
Thank you, Todd. Well, it is a big deal because Bloody Disgusting recently, credit to them, broke the news citing a secret source, but a very good source, because I wouldn't think they would break this without having some sort of confidence, is that this Apartment 7A is actually a top secret Rosemary's Baby prequel, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. So for you Rosemary's Babies fans, this is very big and exciting news. Not much, obviously, as this is a top secret project, has been revealed. However, the little bit that has been revealed is that it is supposed to be about the woman who died outside the apartment when Rosemary first moves in to the apartment. So that is really all the information we have for now. But what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for a Rosemary's Baby prequel? Do you think it's needed 50, 60+ years later?
Not at all. Not at all. You guys need to check out the sequel, What Happened to Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's interesting. Who stars in this? Is it Mia Goth or something like that?
I don't know. They said it's top secret, so I'm not seeing any names attached to it as of right now. But obviously, as more information becomes available, we'll definitely keep you guys up to date. So keep listening to the podcast. or you're not going to know anything about this movie, basically. So thank you. All right, next bit of news, ladies and gentlemen, is Chucky, the television series. We are getting a season 2, and we are also going to be seeing the return, ladies and gentlemen, of Glenn/Glenda. That is right, as they have officially casted a young actor by the name of Lachlan Watson that will be playing the dual role of Glenn and Glenda for Chucky season 2, bringing in another character, of course, from the beloved series. What do you think? Are you happy about this?
It's
don't
a
care?
live action actor, or is it a voice?
Live action.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I was thinking why they didn't bring back Billy Boyd.
Yeah,
Got it.
he inherits the body, apparently. I can't remember how Seed of Chucky ended, honestly, so I don't remember what happens to Glenn at the end there, but
We should cover it. I don't think I've ever sat through the whole thing at once.
we could. That'd be an interesting. It's been a while. All right, moving on. Next bit of news here. Just a couple more things. Oh, I wanted to mention this one because, of course, we have the book club that has kind of been laying dormant for a little while. Don't know if anything's going on. Have there any updates, Todd, with the book club?
No, that's on me too. That's on me. I haven't been able to hit my rhythm here in Texas since moving. So my book reading has like gone from like 3 months to like one every 1.5 months. So once I get that rhythm up and running, I know we have some new members talking about stuff in there though. So we'll get that in and we'll figure something out.
All right, very good. Well, while you are waiting for the book club on our Discord, of course, if you're not a member of our Discord, make sure to join the Horror Squad podcast Discord. But while you're waiting for the book club to start back up, I have found a list of 8 horror books to read this summer. So I'll give you guys the titles and the author, and you can check them out if you're interested. Paper Girls, written by Brian Kavanaugh. What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. The Daughter of Dr. Moreau, I'm assuming that's a sequel to The Island, by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. The Ghost That Ate Us, the tragic true story of the Burger City Poltergeist. Now that sounds like a good one right there. By Daniel Cross. The Devil Takes You Home by Gabino Iglesias. And of course, Clown in a Cornfield 2.
Ooh, I read the first one.
Friendo Lives by
does.
Adam Cesar.
Interesting.
And then lastly, Salem's Lot for those who are getting ready for the upcoming movie. So there you go. 8 summer horror titles to check out.
I read Salem's Lot. It's pretty cool. And Clown in the Cornfield Part 1 is a young adult horror book, but it doesn't read like one. So if you're in for like a popcorn kind of slasher thing, you definitely pick it up.
Very cool.
And before you continue, Joe,
Sure.
Speaking of clubs on Discord, I just want to announce the movie club pick for July. It was actually picked by one of our favorite listeners, Teddy, who you've probably heard his voice on the podcast before. It's his birthday this month, and I think actually his birthday falls within this week. So, Teddy, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. You get to flick your dad in the back of the ear. Just don't do it when he's driving.
Right. So his pick was Vampires versus the Bronx, which you can find over on Netflix. We're going to review it on the last Friday of the month, which I believe falls like the 29th of July. I reviewed it last year, and it's one of the movies I recommended, especially to Sam. I thought it was a really cool story and a really good film. So I'm really excited that other people are going to check it out. And if you want to join us in that discussion, just join our Discord, ask any of us or the page for a link, and we will send to you. It's absolutely free.
Very nice. And happy birthday, Teddy. All right, just a couple more things here. Hocus Pocus 2 finally released their trailer. Steve, Todd, I don't know if you guys watched it yet, but very exciting, of course. As we just announced, of course, may not be in Hocus Pocus 2, but one of our favorite original Hocus Pocus actors, Omri Katz, is going to be hanging out with the squad in Salem, Massachusetts, October 22nd. The whole squad will be there. Come to the event. We'll love you. We want to see you. We'll have merch. We'll have stickers, free stickers. We'll have free magnets, free hugs, free handshakes.
Girl shakes.
Yes. And also an exclusive poster we're going to be selling at the event. That's going to be really cool. That will be revealed in time. We're working with an artist on that. I'm really excited to see how it turns out. But yeah, and we're gonna get. And if you can't make it to the event, I think I'm gonna see if we can get Omri to sign some of those posters, and maybe we can do a giveaway and sell the rest or something on a website or something like that.
That'd be
So
dope.
up to date. We'll keep you up to date on that. But I want to know what you guys thought of the Hocus Pocus 2 trailer if you watched it yet.
I didn't watch it, but what did you think?
I personally thought it looked, fun. Like it looked pretty fun. Like it didn't give away a lot, but I thought the sisters looked great. Like they didn't look like they've really aged much at all. Like in the 20 years the movie came out, yeah. I mean, other than that, it really was very quick. It was like about a minute teaser trailer. They show how the sisters get conjured apparently in this one, which looked pretty cool. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I thought it was a fun little trailer. I'm glad it didn't give away too much, which by the way, I'll let Steve talk. And then I do have a problem with another trailer I watched recently that seemed to give a lot away.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's very brief. There's not much to it. It does give me like the Craft vibes with the group that conjures up the Sanderson sisters. And I guess we'll see. One thing that I did like, this not from the trailer, but from the poster. I don't know if you guys noticed this or saw any mention of this, but it seems that the sister that rode a vacuum in
Sarah.
Yes.
No,
Kathy Najimy.
Kathy Najimy is one.
Mary.
That's right. Mary seems to be flying with a Roomba. So updating her.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, dual technology. Roombas.
Yeah, dude, exactly. My fucking vacuum woke me up at like midnight because I fucked up the programming because I had the timer wrong, so I thought it was like 8. Whatever time it came into my fucking room, loud as fuck, bumping into the walls last night. So yeah, that's not fun.
Nice. And also in that poster, Steve, Sarah Jessica Parker's character is riding a Swiffer wet jet as well. So they're definitely updating the times with that stuff. So yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And and Steve and I are going to see the Sanderson sisters in person in Disney in September. So we'll give you guys an update on that when we see they're doing like a live stage show. So I'm really excited for that.
That's cool.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. And lastly, tonight, to leave on a bit of a somber note, but more of a celebration of life, a big rest in peace to the late great James Caan, who we lost at age 82, of course. Horror-wise, most famously known for The Amazing Misery, of course, with Kathy Bates, but I mean, just in a lot of amazing movies, The Godfather and many Elf. I know a lot of people big fans of Elf. So among many others, just a fantastic actor, and big rest in peace to him. He will be
super babies or genius babies. I forget what it's called. Nah, rest in peace. I mean, dang man, Leota, Caan.
Sure it's starting, man. Like we are. Yeah. So you look up your favorite actors, and they're all like above 80. It's like
fucking Stallone and Schwarzenegger are all
pushing 8.
Willis is retiring because of health, and
Jack Nicholson's like 90 almost.
My gosh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the way it is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd, he's been old for.
Well, yeah, because they made him look older in Back to the Future, so he looks like.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
But yeah, good James Caan, great career, great actor, apparently a really cool guy from all accounts of people who met him and stuff. So, rest in peace for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of older actors, that just made me remember. This weekend actually, Robert Englund donned the Freddy makeup again for a Comic-Con, and it was like a super last minute thing, and he looked great. And everyone's like, can he do it? He looked really good. Yeah. I mean, the dude's 75 and he was in the makeup and he looked still like he could do it again. And now obviously with everyone seeing that again, they're like, can he do one more? Like, is this a precursor? Especially with, of course, Jason Blum recently saying he thinks he could get Englund to do it one more time. Was this a thing? Was this a precursor? Maybe Englund was like, well, let me see if I can sit in the makeup chair for the day. And, or was this just a ton of money was thrown at him from London Comic-Con, which is probably more of the reason why. But I mean, I hope we see it one more time. If it's going to happen, it's going to have to happen within the next year or two, obviously. I think he could do it. Like, I really do. I think they could, kind of restrain, keep it less physical maybe, and have a good stunt double for him and just get the close-up shots of his face for, with Englund. And I hope we see it. I really do.
If Harrison Ford could do fucking Indiana Jones 4 in his 80s, an action film, I'm sure Englund could do Freddy Krueger at 75, I think it's definitely possible, especially it's not that physical of a role. Like you said, I mean, they can rely on stunt
Mhm.
doubles and other, effects and stuff like that. So I hope we get it.
Yeah, same. I think this is the time because with Halloween ending, they don't have another franchise to fall back on, and they'll have some time, so maybe they can. I don't know though, because I still haven't heard who has the rights. Like I know last I heard it was Wes Craven's family, like had the rights. So and Blumhouse has the money to throw at them. So let's make it happen, folks.
It's not New Line anymore that has the rights.
From what I heard, it reverted back to his family. New Line probably has some rights. Like I know, so people were really upset because at the con this weekend, because it was advertised as England being in full costume, and it was just the makeup. And apparently, New Line would not allow him to wear the sweater for the photo. That was the rumor for the photo op.
According to Google, it's the Wes Craven estate.
Right.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why would New Line own the sweater? Maybe
It's the look, right? It's
the
like
image.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, one thing is for sure: if he does come back, he'll be deadly. And you know what else is deadly? Sharks. Sharks are deadly, and also spiders. Spiders are deadly, and coffee.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for, and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
What are we doing? What watched?
Yes.
All right, I have one for the day, and it's The Stepfather Part 2, since we covered Part 1 a couple weeks
You
ago.
did it last week.
Never mind. I have 0 for the day. All right, I have 0 for the day.
Because you're doing
Over to you guys.
Because you're doing Stranger Things for
Oh my god, those
in 2
episodes
weeks.
are so fucking long.
Exactly.
We were trying to binge it. I'm like, all right, we'll binge it. And we had 3 episodes left, and then the last one's 2 hours and 30 minutes long. What the hell?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, we're not watching this today. But yeah,
I really don't know why they do that. Like, just put it in 2 episodes. Like.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe it's pacing, but that doesn't really matter, right? People usually binge them anyway.
No.
Finished season 3 of Stranger Things. I don't know if I talked about that last time. It's a great season. Way better than part 2. Part 4, I'll save mostly for the pod, but I'm not liking the beginning of it. But it's definitely turned a corner for me in this, like, since episode 7. So hopefully it goes up from there.
So I'll start since I'm talking about my punishment first. So because I lost quarter 2 of trivia, he gave Joe and I a punishment. Joe reviewed Tickles the Clown last week. And just for the record, I got to put this out here, okay? So for this week's episode, we did a vote for the Bad Shark movie. So we each picked a movie like we do every year, and people voted for it. Well, Joe slid into my DMs asking for, like, he's like kind of putting like different options out there to see what he should pick for his pick. Do you know that he actually suggested one of the films in the fucking Tickles the Clown series? It was like Sharktopus against, I don't know, it was like, I forget what the title, Bigfoot versus Sharktopus, or
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, Joe, seriously, you just reviewed Tickles the Clown?
I didn't know it was the same director when I picked it.
Yeah, so we avoided that one. We're like, hell no on that one.
Yeah, big time.
But for my punishment, Joe/Todd picked Weed Wolf from 2011, which I watched over on Tubi. This film, oh my god. The residents of a small town in Texas find out that there are some murders going on, so they start to investigate, and you have this really kind of doofy type of I don't know what he is. He's like a scout because he wasn't like intelligent enough to be a sheriff or something like that, or a deputy or whatever. So he's on the case, and he's a big weed smoker, and it's just basically an adventure of him trying to find this infamous weed wolf, which not only kills people, but fights people in lightsaber battles, has rap contests with other people. And this movie is so fucking random. I didn't even know what to fucking think with this one. It's super juvenile. The jokes are really, really, really bad. A lot of racist shit, which is so huge trigger warning. It's a lot of race. It's just like a really southern film. They talk about a lot of Southern politics in it as well, in scenes that make no fucking sense. Like suddenly one of the sheriffs is on a TV show and he just rambles on about politics for like 10 minutes for absolutely no reason. It has nothing to do with the story, it has nothing to do with the plot. It's just in there for shits and giggles. It's really absurd. Like I said, a lightsaber battle, a really terrible lightsaber battle at once. Like they got their fucking toys from Toys R Us and just, started fighting with it. Super weird. Then a rap battle for a long time. But when the werewolf starts rapping, he just like speaks wolf. He doesn't actually say English. So you sit there as he just like basically howls at the mic. And this motherfucking thing is like 2 hours long. It just felt like 20 hours. It was awful. Definitely a pick that was a punishment. I didn't really enjoy it all that much. I did give it a little bit more than a half star on Letterboxd because I got a laugh at how random it got sometimes. But God, if you're making a film like this, A, try to stay away from the racist political shit. Just try to have fun with it. B, try to keep it closer to an hour instead of 2. There's no reason for this to be this long. And C, goddamn, like make something better than this. It was bad. So that's Weed Wolf 2011 over on Tubi.
Could you pair it with Wolf Cop?
No, Wolf Cop fucking destroys this one.
All right. My first one tonight is a true crime documentary that just released on Netflix called Girl in the Picture. I watched it yesterday, actually. And this one is quite an interesting story. I won't go too deep into it because probably like the less you know, the better, because it kind of unravels as it goes. But basically, it is about a woman who is found on the side of the road dead, and they try to piece together like who this woman is, where she came from, and the deeper you get into the story, crazier it gets. You have everything really in this story, from kidnappings to sex trafficking to incest to pedophilia. I mean, it gets wild, it gets crazy. Definitely trigger warnings. Like, definitely there's some stuff dealing with children that is not pretty, but it is a really interesting story, and I was captivated the whole time. It's an hour and 45 minutes, so it's not like super long. Yeah, I know a lot of these Netflix series are like 7 or 8 episodes long. This one's just one straight movie. But it was a good interesting story. Sad at times, but if you're into true crime stuff, I would definitely recommend checking this one out.
And my last one this week is a movie from 1987, which I watched on Blu-ray. I'm not sure if it's streaming anywhere. Probably is. And that's Jaws: The Revenge, or Jaws Part 4. Just because it was Shark Week, I decided to watch a bunch of shark stuff. And this one, well, it's the one I didn't check out last year when I did my Jaws run. I stopped at 3 when we did 3D. So I just wanted to complete it, especially on Letterboxd, because I'm a completionist that way. And I have seen it before, but it's been a while. So in this one, Ellen Brody, which is actually still played by Lorraine Gary, which is awesome. She's living with her sons. One of her sons is now the sheriff of Amityville, and Amity, and they're just kind of doing their thing. And all of a sudden, her son gets killed by a shark, and she says, "You know what? I've had enough of living here and dealing with the sharks, and I'm going to move to the Caribbean and get away from all this with her other son." Well, ladies and gentlemen, the shark gets wise to it and follows her all the way to the Caribbean.
Got GPS.
Yeah, to exact revenge on the Brody family. And that's where the story picks off, as the shark tries to kill the rest of the Brody legacy. But they're helped by, of all people, Michael Caine, who actually agreed to star in this piece of shit. Not only did he star in this, but apparently he missed his Oscar acceptance because he was busy filming this movie. So I'm sure he just loved that. So the movie, I mean, it's okay. It's not like the worst shark movie I've seen by far. I love that it's at least the same actress that's playing her. You do get, updates on the rest of the family. Like, you found out that Brody passed away at some point in the past. They actually tried to get Roy Schneider to come back for this, and he said, "I'd rather like have dinner with Satan or something." Like, basically, he'd rather go to hell than star in Jaws 4. So, and I think that's because he hated Jaws 2, if I remember. correctly. But yeah, this movie it's not good, but it's better than a lot of shark movies. It's not something I think I'll revisit anytime soon, but I'm glad I got to finish the series. Honestly, like 3D, like 2, like 4, I think Cruel Jaws is the second best Jaws film, even though it's an unofficial sequel. So check that one out instead. That's Jaws: The Revenge.
I'd agree with you on that. And I learned that sharks roar. Didn't know that.
That's
until
right.
this movie.
Yeah,
They don't like flashes.
he picked it up on the way from.
I like how they show the little stupid line of travel on the map.
Yeah. Like Indiana
Like
Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Like the sharks fucking watching them. Fuck, I gotta just follow the plane or something. It's so bad. That's a really cool opening scene, though.
It is. Yeah, the kill is really, really cool. But
Yeah.
outside of that, oof, it's a long one. But the premise made me laugh so much that it's like almost worth it.
Yeah, and there's always that one scene that I think I originally took a notice to because Angry Video Game Nerd said it. But when she goes to open the fridge and she did it too slow, so they speed up the frames. And it's like, what? Just retake the shot.
Right.
I'm gonna mess with
exactly.
editing.
Yeah.
So weird.
You know, this movie really needed a Hulk Hogan impersonator. That's what this movie needed to be gold, and they didn't pull it off. So thankfully, they did for Jaws 5.
Agreed. Was Cruel Jaws last year? Is that what we reviewed last year?
Yeah, we did.
Was that the last
It-
year
It's
release?
still
Oh,
one of
man.
my favorite reviews we've ever done because it's so
Yeah.
ridiculous, but in a good way.
What else did we do? Cruel Jaws and
Jaws 3.
Jaws 3?
Yeah.
Just
And the year before we did, what did we do as the serious one? We did Shark Night 3D. Is that what the one we
Shark,
did?
yeah, yeah.
And then we did
Yep.
Shark Exorcist.
Oh my god, that was
Yes.
that led to
No,
us being executive producers.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah, we can't say anything bad about it.
Yeah.
Next year we'll have to do Ouija Shark 2. It's coming out soon.
Oh my god. Yeah, no.
I want to see House Shark. Steve's
Apparently it's actually decent.
People said it was the best. Yeah.
Yeah, the shark comes out of the toilet and everything. It's yeah, that's why I put it. It wasn't because it was bad. It was because I heard it was a good bad. Yeah. So next year,
I still want to see. I want to watch Noah's Shark too. That one sounds.
And
sounds cool.
Joe, our listeners are very disappointed. I got a lot of complaints
know.
about it that you didn't pick Jersey Shore Shark Attack. So a lot of
Yeah.
disappointed listeners on that one. I got DM'd
sorry.
about it. So
Wow. Well, I apologize. Maybe next year. I just, I want to let the joke keep running. I guess the running joke of the podcast.
Have you seen it, Joe?
Yeah.
you
I
have?
saw it when it first came out. Like, yeah. Long time
immediately,
ago.
of course. Come on,
Yeah.
Todd.
Of course, I was a big Jersey Shore fan. Of course. Okay, it's actually like not. I mean, God, compared to like Sharks of the Corn, it's like pretty good. All right. So my last one tonight is a 2022 release. It is a Finnish horror movie by the name of Hatching. This one is about a little girl who's dealing with a mother. What are those like dance moms and so the moms that basically want their children to be
Stage
like
moms.
perfect, essentially. Yeah, stage moms. Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. So this girl, like her mom is trying to make her become like the perfect gymnast. So this girl's like dealing with like all this pressure at home and stuff like that. And one day, she finds an egg out in the woods, and she brings it home and starts taking care of it, and the egg starts to grow, and it grows to immense size, quite massive, and the egg hatches. And what hatches is something I will not reveal to you, because the less you know going in to this movie, definitely the better. But basically the rest of the movie is the consequences of what hatches out of this egg. I gotta say, this movie was bizarre. It was super odd, but man, it was captivating. Like, I could not take my eyes away, and I had no idea where the movie was going to go. I had no idea. It was like super original, and the puppetry work for the original creature design was amazing, and it looked fucking awesome. So like, huge ups to that. Yeah, I would like to keep this as cryptic as possible, because I highly recommend this one. It is definitely going to make my top 10 of the year. It's interesting. Like, I think it would be a great one to discuss too, because there's a lot of metaphors in here and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely recommend this one. Yeah, check it out if you can find it.
What was it called again?
Hatching.
I just put it on my to watch list.
That's what I'm doing too.
All right.
That's a great feature on Letterboxd.
Oh my god, it's a lifesaver.
And it tells you when it's available, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's currently not streaming anyway, but by the way, but it's a $6.99 rental on Prime or YouTube or basically.
I'm sure
anywhere
Shudder
you
will
be.
pick it up.
Yeah, maybe, quite possibly. I wouldn't doubt it, but it's worth definitely a rental. I think so.
Is that it?
That's it.
What? No. Trivia. We
Trivia.
just said what I watched. All right. So quarter 3, we are currently at Joe leading the pack with 3. Steve and I each tied at 2. Overall score, me and Lee with 38, Joe 37, Steve 29. Who would like to begin?
I'll
I'll
go.
start us off.
Go
All
ahead.
right.
No.
All right. Fine. All right. So in honor of Shark Week, I'm doing all shark themed trivia this week. So let's start us off. Number 1. In Jaws, Quint's first name is never mentioned in the book. But what are Hooper and Brody's first names?
Man, I should know these. It sucks.
I just watched fucking Jaws 4, which
They
showed Brody's.
They definitely say Brody's in part 2 as well, which we're reviewing.
Yeah.
Martin Brody. Martin Brody.
Correct.
What's Hoopers? Hoopers. She fucking has sex with him in the first book. It's weird. Brody's wife. They have an affair.
I did.
Yeah, that book's terrible.
I don't remember.
Come on, Martin, and then dang it, I'm gonna kick myself for this one. I don't know.
Matt
Hooper.
Matt Hooper.
Fucking Hooper.
Matt Hooper and Martin Brody. And Quince, yeah, interesting enough, in the book and the movie, never not mentioned once.
Maybe it's better
He
that
just
way.
needs one name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go next.
Okay.
No regular questions this week because I couldn't think of one. So we're gonna go for 3 other categories. First one is the 4 clues.
Okay.
So here we go. Ferris wheel,
Okay.
school bus, hurricane,
Oh.
and sharks.
Sharknado.
Yes.
Okay.
Because fun fact,
There you
it's
go.
more hurricane than it is tornado in that movie. So
Never seen
That is
any of
true.
them, and I'm planning to keep it that way.
yeah, they're
That's what you have to watch.
they're bad.
They are bad, yeah. I saw the
So-
first one.
So I had a day this week. It was Saturday where phone, internet, cable were down across Canada.
That's the fucking apocalypse.
So
Dude.
there was nothing to do. And like if you plan for it, yeah, sure, you could go outside, do shit and stuff like that. I mean, I went swimming for a while, but at home there was like nothing to do. So I actually pulled out my old trusty Blu-rays and I asked my wife, what do you want to watch? She's like, okay, pick something that's still in the wrapper. Okay, so I picked a few and she picked Sharknado to watch. So we watched the first Sharknado. She fell asleep in like 20 minutes and I had to watch the rest of it. So yeah, I don't know if I want to watch the other 5. We'll see.
That's 1 point for physical media.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, saved my life.
Okay. In the movie Deep Blue Sea, LL Cool J's character has what type of job on the research station?
Oh,
Is he a chef?
Correct.
yeah. I was trying to picture his attire. I know it was white. I didn't remember if it was
Yeah.
an entertainer or
He-
chef.
He gives the perfect omelet recipe. Not 3 eggs, 2.
Nice. That's it. I gotta rewatch that one. It's been a while.
In a minute too.
Maybe maybe next year. That'd be a,
Yeah.
That'd be a good series,
Shark Week
man.
one for
That
next
could
year.
be our good pick next year.
Mhm. Surprisingly, one of the sequels I watched recently wasn't the worst. I think it might have been 3 or 4. I can't remember.
Not 3. I think 3 is
maybe
one of
maybe-
them's really bad. I don't remember which one.
I think
This
that's
one-
3. I think we
It-
all talked
whatever,
about it.
whatever the last one that came out, I can't remember.
I don't even know how many stars it now.
No.
One of those like
All right. Next question. Another Jaws related question. What is Quint's drink of choice?
oh boy, Scotch on the rocks. Just total guess.
Whiskey sour.
Beer.
It is a beer, but I want the brand of
Oh my
beer
God.
that he crushes. on
It's
the
probably
boat.
some fucking like Samuel Adams. I don't know.
Is it a well-known?
I know a
beer?
lot. Very well known beer.
Very well-known beer. It's
I think a lot of the Jaws fans right now, I'm sure, are screaming it.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Miller.
No.
I don't know. American
This
beer.
bud's for you, Budweiser.
The correct answer, Narragansetts.
Narragansets, never even heard it.
Me neither.
Yes. Maybe it's only a New England thing.
That must
but,
be because
It's pretty sad.
That's what he-
Jaws is my top 10 all time. I
Yeah.
don't know that.
he
well,
crushes the Narragansetts.
doesn't mean it's your favorite that you don't know fucking the labels on the food in the background.
Don't try to make me feel better, Steve.
No, the Narragansetts are very prominent in the movie.
Have
with
you
him
had one?
crushing them.
And-
I have, yeah, of course. They actually
Good.
every year they're not great. They're like a very cheap beer.
Like a
But,
Pabst Blue
every-
Ribbon kind of beer.
Yeah, every year in the summer though, they always release a special Jaws related can
That's
for
cool.
'em.
That'd be good collectible.
We're gonna grab a 6-pack and drink it in the hotel room. When we go to
Yeah.
Sa-
Yes.
when we go to
For
Salem.
sure.
Definitely, I will. I'll bring it right to you guys.
All right,
yeah.
cool.
And we can all crack a Narragansett together. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So my second category this week is guess based on the Letterboxd reviews.
Okay.
What I expected was a cool creature flick. What I got is wizards locked in Mortal Kombat firing eye lasers at each other.
Wizards, you said?
That's the first one. Second one. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of shitty little guys, but these ones didn't do anything. I feel betrayed by the lack of toilet. And the last one, fuck Charles Band.
Ghoulies.
Correct. Which I just watched, and yeah, it's not good. The second one is good. The first one, it's mostly like these weird wizards like doing bad CGI at each other, which is so weird.
At least 2 is the one in the theme park, right? Yeah.
I think so. I'm about to watch it. That's my next movie on my
3
like-
is Ghoulies Go to College, I believe.
Yeah,
so.
it is. That's right. So 2 is the one that's yeah.
Yeah.
All right. See if you can catch my theme. In Halloween H2O, LL Cool J has what job at the school?
Security guard.
Correct.
Yeah. That's right. Mhm.
And just a warning, I couldn't find any other horror movies LL Cool
Was
J.
still
So that ends there.
Okay. My last one tonight. 3 obscure movie reviews for the one movie. Keep in mind, this is, of course, shark-related movies. So there's your hint right there.
Okay.
Okay. Number 1. I have literally been waterboarded before, and that was far more pleasant experience than watching this movie.
That describes a lot of shark
That's
movies.
nothing.
Has number 2 has a big giant shark that eats someone at least every 15 minutes. Self-aware and gleefully stupid without a bunch of winking. Pretty much does exactly what it's supposed to. And number 3, the fast and furiousification of shark movies.
Oh, is it? No,
Is it Shark Night?
Sharknado. Like,
It's not either one of those. I'll give you one more hint. This movie came out in 2018, and we did review it for the pod
Oh, we did?
as a feature.
as a feature.
Wow.
Wow.
We
Uh-huh.
We all went to the theater.
47 meters
So-
below.
It's oh fuck, the Meg.
Oh, yeah.
The Meg. It is. Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
That movie's, oof.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
remember
that's-
that many people died in it though. But,
Yeah.
All right, my last category this week is guess the actor by his accomplishments.
Okay.
Born May 16th, 1944 in Echo Park, Los Angeles, California. Spent the majority of the 1960s in prison. Made at least 4 films every year since 1990.
Danny
including-
Trejo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Including 9 in 2002 alone. My other 2 I had is Robert Rodriguez's second cousin
Mm.
and is 5'5".
Yeah. He's a voice in anime show my kids watch. It's really good. It's called Big City Greens. And he plays like a bodyguard. He's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
Like he is in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if there's a Mexican in a movie, there's like a 50% chance he'll be one of them.
Him or that
Right.
one other guy that always plays a gangster. Always. I forget who he is. But you'll know him when I send a picture. All right. My last one here. I got 4 little tidbits here.
Okay.
First clue is world traveling based on a book. United Nations.
World War Z.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
Last one would have been Fast Zombies, which I've been meaning to rewatch that movie for a while now.
I'd review that. It's
I haven't seen it since
I saw it in
theaters.
theater. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a feature.
I remember
we have
kind
nothing
of
to watch.
liking it.
I do too.
Me too. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the book better, and has really little to do with the book,
Oh,
but
the book's great.
it still was a decent movie if you look at it as its own entity.
Was there a director's cut released of that one? I want to say there.
Not to my knowledge. I know there was a lot of issues in the filming of it.
Yeah.
But
All their guns got confiscated at one point.
yeah.
Cool.
I know what I know what you did last summer is getting a like 4K release, and there's supposed to be like a bunch of deleted like scenes that have never been released before coming.
And it almost predicted the future with one of the actors, I forget his name, played Who Doctor. That's what he's credited as in World War Z. And the next year he became Doctor Who.
That's funny.
Fun fact.
All right, so the
Kinda
quarter.
Like I was like kind of like Harry Potter with Troll. It's like
Right, exactly.
The quarter's heating up. We are tied with first place, 5 apiece. Joe and Steve, with myself at 4. It's any man's game at this point. What are you drinking? What do you got in there? Lemons?
Sorry, just iced coffee.
Oh, okay. Nice coffee's good. That's yummy. What do you want to cover first? We want to talk about, well, we'll probably have less to say about sharks in the cornfield, right?
Probably,
Yeah.
So, let me pull up the IMDb on that. Sharks of the Corn. Oh my gosh, Sharks of the Corn. All right, Sharks of the Corn.
Wait.
2020.
Stephen Kang's Sharks of the Corn.
Yes.
Very, very important.
Oh, sorry. Stephen Kang's. I'm not mispronouncing it. It's Kangs. Sharks of the Corn, directed by Tim Ritter, 2021. Yep. You're gonna get stalked. Strange things are happening in Druid Hills, Kentucky, known mainly for its voluminous corn output. A lot of corn output. The people can't read like me. Victims of monsters in cornfields beginning cropping up. Oh my god. I hate when they do like fucking little inside jokes and shit like this. But anyway. Victims of monsters in cornfields begin cropping up, and witnesses are saying there are large great white sharks swimming in the corn stalks. So this movie immediately starts off with if you've been to Kentucky, especially like the southern or eastern parts of it, you will get a lot of southerners, you got heavy, thick accents, things like that, and just a lot of good times drinking beers and everything. And this is exactly what happens in real life. There's this couple that are drinking corn whiskey, and they're partying. The girl gets super horny. She wants to have sex, but he's like kind of playing a little bit hard to get. So she's like, you know what, I'm gonna run into the cornfields and I'm gonna take off bits of clothes. You got to find me. So for all the horn dogs out there, we do see breasts at the 7-minute mark, which is strange because we're in the first scene and we're only already at 7 minutes. So there's like a weird opening, and then this fake ass plastic shark comes and destroys her. But wait, first we saw a body with a corn boner. Don't forget about the corn boner. So we shoot ahead, and he's getting interviewed by the police and blah, blah, blah. And then we meet this character that's a great white shark worshiper who wears a face covering that's a shark. He is very weird, and he meets a prostitute, and he tells her all about how the great white sharks are the best thing on earth, how we need to worship them, and blah, blah, blah. That's when I turned it into 1.5 speed on Tubi to get a little bit quicker through it. Because it's at 2 hours. It's crazy. The only reason I picked this one is because I put Sharks on Tubi, and the cover art is actually pretty damn amazing. That'd make a sick fucking poster if the movie's better. It's got a great white shark going through corn with a big breasted lady running away from him. My initial thoughts are this movie is garbage. It's terrible. And it's not good. It's not garbage in the sense that it's funny. Like at some point there's like a 3-minute commercial for real estate, I believe it was. And then it's like, what are they doing? So I'll leave it at that. I'll let you gentlemen take over.
Yeah, I was like kind of excited when you picked this one because like I was hopeful. Like the poster art is really great. Like these movies always do a great job of creating like amazing poster art. So I'll give them credit for that at the very least. So yeah, obviously Sharks of the Corn. You're like, okay, this is gonna be terrible. But my hope was gonna be it's like a so bad it's good movie and it has some sort of like redeeming qualities. But no, there was nothing in here that I enjoyed like at all. Like it is.
I like how you say you were offended.
Yeah, I was. I did a Letterboxd review. I said the runtime was offensive. Like it is an hour and 45 minutes, but it feels like fucking 4 hours. Like it was just such a fucking chore to get through. Sam was like, how was it? I was like, literally the pair of boobs I saw was like the best part of the movie, and they weren't even like the best boobs I've seen or anything, but they were just a pair of boobs, and it was something. But yeah, no, there's nothing redeeming about this movie. It is fucking bottom of the barrel, everything. The acting is, it's literally just like he found friends and family and put them in a movie. There's even like a scene where like a little girl is like a gangster, and it's probably like his fucking daughter or like his niece or something that he just threw into the movie. The sharks are Halloween, I think it was like a Trick or Treat Studios Jaws mask at one point, like going through the corn. There's a scene where like a hand falls, and it's literally like the cheapest fucking prop hand I've ever seen in a movie. Yeah, I mean, man, like it was awful. It was just a horrible viewing experience. I can't even imagine like getting drunk and watching this with friends. Like I don't even think I could enjoy it that way. Like it is just so fucking bad. Yeah, just terrible all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. There's no getting away from it. It's long, it's bad, but there were a few things that made me laugh, particularly in the production value of this film. For examples of the production value of this film, there are two cops in the story. The woman is wearing a white shirt with her probably work name on it, like, I don't know, like Go Ahead Spa or something, that is clearly visible on her shirt, and she just put her badge over it, but the badge doesn't cover the full name of the thing, so you could totally see that it's like a totally different shirt that she put a badge on. And the male is just a guy in a black shirt that says cop on it, so that's how you know that he's a cop. They have a scene in a helicopter where a guy wears like just a normal like headphones and stuck a microphone in the headphones to make it look like he has like a full headset. I mean, yeah, this movie it's bad. It's constant, just awful effects and props and kills and all that stuff. The one scene that really made me laugh, though, like the only genuine laugh I got out of this scene, there's a super random scene in the forest where these like ninjas are going through it, or these thieves, and they have to escape the traps that were put into the forest so that, kind of so they don't get whatever they were chasing. I don't even remember what they were chasing. And it's like these super shitty like spikes in the middle of the forest that they have to like jump over, even though they could just easily just walk around it. No, they gotta like jump over it and do these fucking ninja moves and stuff like that. Just absolute garbage throughout. And it's like a lot of these films, like I'll be slightly entertained for the first half hour, I'll be mildly entertained for the next half hour, but after I hit that 1 hour mark, I start to fade a little bit. And that's why an hour 40 long time is just too fucking long for a movie like this. There's just, you can't be that ridiculous with no story. Fucking Bigfoot's in there at some point for no reason. There's a whole like shark queen exorcist thing at the end. It's dumb, and yeah. I didn't like it.
Yeah, what is even the story here? Like, so it's like a serial killer who is like, he like is banding together and trying to like with a shark cult, but like then Stonehenge is involved at some point. They keep showing images of Stonehenge, and like, yeah, man, like they tried to come up with this like really elaborate plot for a fucking terrible. It should have just been, I would have been okay maybe like if it was just like a slasher movie with like a guy who like wanted to be like a shark that was going through the corn or something. I don't know, but the plot they came up with here was fucking, it was like Tickles the Clown insanity, where they just fucking came up with this like super elaborate plot for just a fucking bottom barrel movie. Like it was just too much.
I did like the serial killer's mannerisms.
Yeah,
what the fuck was that?
So over the top.
That one scene, he's in the cop car and he's doing faces like from behind the cop. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I want to talk to him. Like, hey, yeah, I don't know. He'd be like interesting. Not much to say. You don't need to watch this movie. I think it might be cool to watch for like 30 minutes with a group before turning on another movie, but this is a big. It makes me wonder how easy it is to get on Tubi. To be honest with you.
It's a lot of technical shit. Like I actually looked it up to see if I could just make something and put it on Tubi just to say I did.
Yeah.
A lot of technical aspects and stuff like that. So it's not super easy to get on Tubi, but I mean, if these people can figure it out and they wrote this, I'm sure we could figure it out and do something. Get a $500 budget, spend $475 it on the poster, and then the other 25 on the movie, and there you go. You're
That's
on
the
Tubi.
thing.
Yep.
It's crazy to me because you can like I'm sure you've done it, Steve. You go to the freaking thrift store to get your wardrobe. Like you can find a work shirt that looks like a cop uniform easily. Get a security guard uniform for God's sake. Oh yeah, that's
They
infuriating.
didn't. They didn't even use a cop car in this movie. It was really just someone's car, and they put like a fake siren on the top of the car. They didn't. I mean, there wasn't even an effort made in this movie. So I mean, like you said, if this can get on Tubi and Rec Tuma can get on
Shark
Tubi, then
Exorcist.
fucking
Don't just
anything
Rectum is actually pretty funny. So.
Oh, I mean, this Rec Tuma is like a masterpiece compared to this
Yeah.
one.
And how about that really sad death in this movie where the kid's like head gets chopped off and then thrown back at the parents, who give the
That's
most
right.
awkward like no. It was like what the fuck?
It's that corn whiskey, man. It goes right through you.
Apparently, yeah. Good
I will
times.
say the intro was definitely the most entertaining part of the whole movie. I will say that.
100%.
It lasts forever
Yeah.
though. Like she's slowly taking off. She has like
Yeah.
eight shirts on, or 8 pieces of a shirt on.
Right.
You gotta hand it to him. They do close up of
Yeah, nonstop.
boob.
He
blood
had
drip.
he had that one woman for like 2 hours, and he's like, "I'm gonna make so many
Yeah.
close-ups of your boob." And then,
I'm gonna make you a star.
Yeah.
Oh man. Rate it. 2 out of 10. Something. Yeah, 2 out of 10.
I really fucking hated this movie. Like I did not enjoy it at all. I actually would give Tickles the Clown a nod over this one.
No,
That's how
come on.
I would.
This
I
one at least
would.
had like production value.
Yeah,
a
a little bit, a little.
a little.
Listen, Tickles the Clown at least had like decent, interesting enough visuals. Like even though it was the same 6 visuals, like the visuals at least were entertaining, and the dialogue made me laugh a few times in Tickles the Clown. Like I got no enjoyment out of watching this. I just didn't. It's a 1 out of 10 for me.
I'm at a 2 with Todd. I laughed a couple times at how ridiculous it was, but like I said, after like an hour, I just completely I couldn't do it anymore. It was just too long. It took me 3 shots to watch this. Like I had to stop it, go do something, watch it, and stop it. Like, ugh. I'm glad I got through this and never have to watch this one again.
Yeah, it's at one point it was so slow that I forgot I had the speed increase. I'm like, why is this taking so long? And I'm like, oh shit, their performances are that slow. I'm like, okay, got it. All right, so avoid that one on Tubi unless you want to torture yourself. Let's go to Jaws 2. Is this a French director, Steve? Janot Svark?
Oh, I didn't.
Janoy, maybe? I don't know. Look it up real quick. If you can pronounce that.
It's Janot.
Janot Svark.
Yeah,
1978, 3 years after the original. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, which is an awesome tagline. Police Chief Brody must protect the citizens of Amity after a second monstrous shark begins terrorizing the waters. All right. What do we say about Jaws 2? I mean, this one sticks in my mind from watching a lot when I was a kid, because I love Jaws Part 1 and Jaws 2 seemed to always be the one of the movies that's always on TV. It was either Aliens, Terminator 2, watched a lot of Running Man, and then Jaws 2 for some reason. But essentially it's like the same plot as the first one. Brody's fucking like crazy now, essentially, because he thinks everything's a shark, and rightfully so, he was almost killed by one. So of course the mayor sleaze bag. You also have a subplot of another dude, I forget what his job is in the town, but he's trying to bang Chief Brody's wife the entire movie. So the chief is trying to convince these guys like, hey, we got another shark, and no one believes him, right? And then eventually his kids are a little bit older now, go out in the water, much to his dad's chagrin, hey, don't go in the water, as a shark, whatever. And then they ended up being stranded while Bruce's Shark Part 2 attempts to eat them. And then Chief Brody goes out on a kid-saving adventure again. This one definitely dropped. My score didn't change at all because it's like Jaws 2. It's got some love for it, but it's definitely like not a great movie in my opinion. It really does rehash a lot of the beats of the original, minus Hooper and Quint. I know that he mentioned Hooper, like he tried calling him, like that's like a throwback. But other than that, it's like almost the same movie. Everyone's like doesn't believe him. People get killed. They try to cover it up, things like that, until finally there's a showdown with the shark at the end. And it's kind of very long and kind of boring for a lot of this movie. But I do. Brody's one of my favorite characters of all time. He's awesome. I love just like the feel of the 70s shark movie, and the shark, in my opinion, still looks pretty good, especially for the time. So I will leave it at that for now.
Yeah, man, I hadn't seen this one in a long time. So it was pretty fresh watch for me. This movie definitely had a lot stacked against it. Spielberg didn't come back, and I mean, trying to follow up one of the all-time classics that is Jaws is damn near impossible. But you know what? I actually really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a really solid sequel. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect in any stretch of the imagination. At an hour and 56 minutes, this movie is definitely way too long. Like it definitely could have been cut down, and it could have made for a much better movie. But as is, I still had a lot of fun watching this. Brody, of course, Brody really carries this movie, and rightfully so. I'm glad that they let him carry this movie because I mean, he needed to, right? He's like, definitely, he's just a fantastic actor, and every time he was on screen, it was great. And the shark looked awesome. I loved the burnt look that they went with in this one. I thought that looked badass and added something a little different. But yeah, overall, I had a lot of fun with it, and besides the runtime, I really don't have many other complaints.
Yeah, so I'd watched this last year and I'd seen it before, but I was happy to revisit it. I mean, I like the Jaws series. Overall, I like shark movies. If I'm sitting through all these bad ones, it's nice to see a decent one once in a while. For sure, you can't fucking replicate or surpass the original Jaws. I don't think. It was just such a classic movie, and I'm glad the direction they went with it. I like seeing Brody's PTSD and how he's dealing with the aftermath of the first one. It's really cool. I like that we get to see the original orca at the beginning of the film. It's just like a nice callback to the previous film and stuff like that. I do think that there were some plot points that I wish they had expanded on in this sequel, particularly with the opening of like resorts and stuff. They're on the beach. I thought that would be kind of the direction that they would go in, where they're trying to like populate that area into a big touristy thing, but he's trying to stop it. But they only really glance the surface of that, and it almost becomes where it's kind of pointless to the story because it doesn't really have anything to do with what actually happens in this movie. So it's weird that they even bothered to include it. You have the character of Len, who, I mean, I know for sure because my mom watched Days of Our Lives my entire life, and he was the main villain on Days of Our Lives. So if you watch that show, you definitely knew that actor as Stefano DiMera. But that character was almost like underutilized and not kind of pointless in the end because he doesn't do anything to hinder Brody or help Brody. So he's just kind of there.
Was he trying to bang Brody's wife? Is that guy?
Yeah, but
okay.
They never go anywhere with it. So why bother, right? So that was kind of a bummer. The whole mayor thing too, like also kind of takes a step back and could have been used a little bit more. There's some good things about it though. There's some like good kills. There's some good tension. I like the focus on the kids and being in the water and being stuck like that. I do love the look of the shark. The half-burnt shark is fucking awesome. It's just a really cool look for the shark. You get some really stupid moves by some of the characters. I mean, there's a woman who pours gasoline on the boat and then immediately shoots her with a flare like 2 seconds later. So didn't think that one through. But I mean, it's a decent watch, but not a great film either.
Yeah. I don't know. Like seeing the shark take out the fucking helicopter, like I cheered. I was like, fuck yeah. I was so excited when that happened. I thought that scene was amazing. I was like, the shark better fucking take out this helicopter. And when it did, I was like cheering. I thought that was awesome. I do agree. The mayor, why is this guy still the mayor, by the way? Like after the events of the first movie, you think they wouldn't reelect him unless, even if he didn't get reelected, I feel like he would have to resign after the fucking tragedies of the first movie. But yeah, I do wish, I really liked the Brody paranoia slash PTSD thing they went with in this one. I think it could have they could have even made it a little more dramatic and kind of went deeper into the psychosis of that. I mean, I know granted this is just a summer popcorn flick, but I think if you wanted to elevate it to a better movie, they could have did a little more with that. I think it would have been really interesting because obviously we get that one scene where he comes home drunk and stuff like that. I think it would have been really interesting if you made him an alcoholic to start this movie out, and kind of maybe Brody's, a Renaissance type thing where he comes back to save the day, after kind of being down and out after the events of the first movie. They didn't do that, but I think that kind of would have made for a more interesting movie. But I did like the little bit that they did with that.
Yeah, I got a couple notes. I found when right before that water skiing attack, the couple's making out, and I found the fixation that the girl had on the water skiers to be like, what? Why are you so obsessed? She like literally ran out and was waving to him like they're gonna care that she's waving to him. I just thought that was funny. And then when they go to interview the older lady that saw the explosion and her glasses are so fogged up, I'm like, how the fuck does she even see anything out those fucking glasses? The whiny ass deputy needs to get fucking written up for talking back to Brody constantly. Brody needs to beat his ass, all right, or give him a write up for insubordination. And then I mean, it's that ending. I guess if it's all right, one, it's impossible to follow up on Jaws' original ending. That's one of the best endings ever, period. And then for him to have, electrocute him to death. I mean, that's hard to judge it. It's hard to compare because you can't help but compare, and it's just not on par with it.
It looked cool though. I thought, kind of like when he fucking bursts into flames. I mean,
Wouldn't Brody be dead too?
he jumps away, but I mean, he was pretty close. But I don't know. Like, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because they live on an island, so I mean, there has to be power there to get to it somewhere. So like, and they like touched on that underground wire like earlier in the movie where they're, So I mean, it's fine, but yeah, like you said, I mean, it doesn't compare to the first movie.
I love when he's dealing with like trivial shit in his town, at the beginning, and that could have been a good thing to just push on. That he's also kind of, after doing such a big like shark thing in the first one, now he's dealing with fucking bullshit calls. One of them that made me laugh is my neighbor is dancing and seducing me. Yeah, just stuff like that would have been funny, and maybe working to his PTSD, where he's like, it's like half of him is happy that he doesn't have to deal with something so big, but half of him is like missing the adventure of dealing with something so big. But
yeah, he got that man of the year plaque or whatever,
right.
with the little. They need to be like massaging Brody's shoulders, buying him steak dinners like every night for killing that fucking shark, man. I hate the mayor. I hate him so much.
I wonder if Hooper was like supposed to come back for this, or if they asked him to come back. Because obviously they had that one. They did. Okay. Was it like money or?
No, I think he just said no.
Really?
And there was something, maybe Todd would know. I read this, I think, last year, but Roy Schneider really didn't want to do this, and he did it for, I don't know if it was contractual obligation or.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something there, and he hates this franchise because of it, or until his passing.
Yeah, I did like the throwback though. If you guys caught it, the planner in front of Brody's house,
yeah,
is that
the yellow planner. Yeah,
barrel. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, you want to rate it? Okay, I'm sitting at a comfortable 7 out of 10, respectable 3 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm at a 7.5. I had a lot of fun with it, and I would watch it again. I think it's the best of the Jaws sequels, and yeah, 7.5 out of 10 for me.
I rated it lower. I think it was a 6 or 3, 3 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. I was a little bored, to be honest, at times, and there's a lot of portions where there's not much going on, and that was kind of a bummer. So I just think they could have done more with it, and they didn't. But still, it's a decent watch, and one I'll watch when I watch the Jaws series over again, and won't have to dread it like the Revenge or anything.
Yeah, I think it's the best technically speaking, film in the sequel in the franchise. But I think the most entertaining would probably be part 3. Or maybe even part 4 for stupidness.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah, I think part 3 is more entertaining. I'd rather watch part 3 than this one, but this one's a better technically made film. So.
All right. Well, that is it. That is it for Shark Week, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed. Next week, I believe we're doing Crimes of the Future. That is the new David Cronenberg movie. Highly anticipated for that. I'm excited to watch that. So yeah. Make sure you follow us on all of our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our Discord, the Horror Squad Podcast. Join us there and check out our event coming up October 22nd in Salem, Massachusetts at Silver Moon Comics and Collectibles and Cinema Salem. It is going to be a day of hocus pocus with the star Omri Katz, Max Dennison himself. So, follow all of our social medias for that. We're going to keep you up to date. Tickets will be on sale very soon for the screening for that. The signing you can just show up for. Come meet us and Omri. The whole squad is going to be there. We're really excited for that event. We hope you can join us for that. And I think that is it. So we hope you enjoyed Shark Week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.